is a routine 44-year-old William Ruto has followed religiously for most of the 13 years of his political life, but especially in the last 2 years to accommodate a resolution he'd been putting off for a long time.
As you may have noticed, I wake up on average between 5 and 5:30. I am normally almost the first or the second or the third in the gym in the morning around 6 when it's opened. Because I have a program that has been developed by our gym personnel.
An intense morning workout, how this Eldoret North Member of Parliament begins his day.
I have now been doing the gym about 1 year, maybe 7 months. I decided to do the gym when I realized that my weight was getting out of hand, and I was doing 99 kilograms. And for my weight, I was told that was way off the mark. Specific incident when I had gone to Western Kenya to inspect the problems with sugar. And a photograph was taken, and it showed me in very bad shape with my tummy protruding. So a friend called me the next day and told me, "Man, you're doing badly." It took me a year to shed off 15 kilograms, which I am told is a very impressive record. I now weigh between 80 and 86 kilograms. I'm aiming to reduce it maybe further to about 84.
Such is the aggression and determination he says he has extended to the political playing field for a man who dominated headlines in 2010 over one controversy or another, the maize scandal, allegations of land grabbing, and most recently the Ocampo watch list that is the aftermath of the 2007 post-election violence, the political weight he has tried to keep off his shoulders all year.
I think after 13 years as a politician, really, it is like having been in the gym for 1 year. I mean, really, the scales, whether you're talking about how steep the treadmill is or how fast you have timed yourself to run. I mean, after some time, you get used to it and you enjoy every bit of it.
After a 1.5-hour session, it is time for another outfit for William Ruto, whose change in attitude to what lies ahead, as with the changing perceptions of his political dynamics, he compares to his change in physique.
Of course, when you reduce 15 kilos, I have had to change all my shirts, change all my suits. And of course, the rumor mill is very fertile. All manner of imaginations come. But after some time, I think people are getting used to my new size. I think having changed my wardrobe, the clothes fit me a lot more. And I think those concerns have actually evaporated. And of course, I feel myself much more comfortable and ready to take on my challenges in my new outfit.
His schedule is much lighter since he was suspended from his higher education office, but not his controversial entree, his latest being his criticism of the International Criminal Court process, a process whose credibility, he says, is questionable.
We are interested in getting to the bottom of the post-election violence. As a person, I have a great interest in it, and I do not want this chance to be messed up by irresponsible decisions or actions by either the prosecutor or his handlers, including the Kenya Human Rights Commission.
I ask him about his decision to approach the ICC prosecutor Luis Moreno Ocampo and eventually travel to The Hague.
When the human rights report was being written, we were never given a chance to be heard. When Waki was done, we were never given a chance to be heard. Finally, our names were in the reports, mentioned adversely, and we had not defended ourselves. I didn't want a repeat of what happened in Waki and what happened in the Kenya Human Rights Report, that people pretend that they are doing investigation and they conclude and do a report when your side of the story has not been heard.
Most of your critics would argue that you're too vocal as compared to maybe the other people who had been mentioned in previous reports, and would argue that the guilty are afraid. What would be your comment on that?
Put yourself in my shoes. You come across information that some 6 guys have been made to write statements that you distributed guns, 3,000 guns, that you registered an organization called Emma Foundation and used it to raise 1.5 billion and bought guns, that you participated in the burning of a church where Kenyans died. I mean, with that amount of information in your knowledge, would you go home and relax and hope that some miracle is going to happen and that somehow people will know that this is falsehood?
It is a tunnel William Ruto remains convinced he will get out of and onto the other side unscathed.
But, this will be another opportunity for me to demonstrate to all Kenyans that William Ruto is a clean man, and my intentions are clear and my hands are very clean.
When not in the office, William Ruto wears a different hat.
I enjoy construction. I really enjoy developing property from Zamani.
You're obviously also layering your political foundation ahead of 2012. Maybe you can tell us the foundation and the progress so far.
Kenyans have a lot of expectations of what is going to happen. And secondly, I believe that it is going to be the opportunity to pass on the baton from one generation of leaders to another.
You had initially indicated that you hope to ascend more in terms of power. Will that ascension get to a presidential stage, as you had initially indicated?
Kenyans will decide, but I must confess to you that I will vie for position in 2012, and God willing, it is not going to be far-fetched for a transfer of leadership from the Kibaki generation of leaders to my generation of leaders.
But unlike his construction, not every one of his foundations have remained strongly cemented over the years. Your relationship with the Prime Minister.
I must admit that my relationship with the Prime Minister is in the rocks at the moment. It could have been better, but it is not. And it came about, of course, as a result of differences of opinion.
When William Ruto changes gear again, he's a farmer, treading through an acreage of impressive tree cover and ample food production that is his Eldoret farmhouse.
Okay. So price has now come down to 1,300, almost half. These are actually the troubles of farmers. It's terrible. That's why you see it is very healthy. Maybe what you should tell him. Tunasiaga mahindi juu yake, tunaweka rice jam.
(2010) has obviously been a successful year for William Ruto, the farmer. But how has it been for William Ruto, the politician?
I mean, just like the challenges we face as farmers, it's the same thing, the challenges we face as politicians as well. You know, things go up, they go down, but you have to hang in there. Otherwise, many farmers would have already quit. And I guess many politicians have already quit. So I think the secret is to hang in there.
A burning fireside in rural Eldoret, what introduces us to the warmer side of William Ruto. A husband and father of 6 children. Tonight, a typical night in. Mrs. Rachel Ruto sets the table for the evening meal, offsetting a family bonding session that will tell of their unity as well as explain the harrowing of a family that has to deal with their father's 13-year political path.
Great.
So how do the children describe their father?
He's just dad at home, yeah.
When he comes home and he smiles at me, that smile just says that I love you.
He's just a normal guy who wants his shoelaces to be untied by one of the kids. Yeah, it's just a sweet dad.
He's caring because taking care of 6 kids is not a joke.
He's a nice one. Yeah, he's always there for us when you need him.
Do the ongoings around his political life bother them at all?
Sometimes it's not easy, but as a mother, I've really been trying to reassure the children because over time I've actually realized that sometimes they are the most vulnerable, although they may not say.
Can we go?
But it is his religious backing the family agrees holds both him and the family together. For a man who was the head of the Christian Union group at the University of Nairobi back in the 90s, his faith, that which he says he will greatly seek in spite and despite his political aftermath at the close of the 2010 calendar year. Evelyn Wambui, Citizen Newsmakers.